Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to a new video on Investing Society. Today I want to look at one of the stocks that have been absolutely crushed over the past couple of months, and that is PayPal. People are starting to look into it now on these oversold levels. PayPal is one of the biggest companies in the world when it comes to payment processing. And now the stock has gone from 310 all the way down to 187. Now is this a good opportunity to buy the dip, or is it a trap? Let's look into it. So now that the stock has gone down, there's a lot more eyes on it. You have Wall Street investors that have always loved this stock. Now even retail investors are starting to look into it. So if you look at the long-term trend for this company, you'll see that over the past decade, it has been nice and steady growth until 2020 when the pandemic hit. And it actually crashed, which made no sense since people realized, hey, this is actually a pandemic play, right? Like people stay at home and people online shop, and they will eventually use PayPal more often than usual, which made the stock rise over $300. So that's where it peaked on July of this year. But then remember, there was a big shift where people decided to move into recovery plays after the vaccine came in, and these type of stocks actually start to crash again. Now that Delta variant came during the summer, the stock went back up to over 300. It's hard not to consider this more like a stay-at-home type stock. The movement really indicated that that's what it was. We got the latest earnings and actually really fell off a cliff. So we got a lot of analysts that downgraded it, saying that the growth rate is decelerating a lot, and there was a lot of competition for the company. And now that the share price has gone from 300 to 187, it's close to around the price of last year around November. Remember when there was all that fear and uncertainty around election and all that? So that's why it's kind of interesting right now. It's kind of very close to that support level. So let's talk about what happened during these earnings and what made this jump off a cliff. With this quarter, it had 6.18 billion in revenue, and in the bottom line, the actual profits from the company, you had 93 cents per share. Good aspects of the company is that the mature online business, mostly digital products and services, so the margin tends to be good. The company tends to be profitable. But a little bit like Facebook, it's kind of like they reached like the maximum growth that it can get to the core business, meaning accelerated growth has been steady and a little declining at this time. So currently investors seem to be confused if this will be the top for PayPal and if it is a downhill from here. Now PayPal, they're already the biggest payment processor online. Now they have some competition from Square and from some other small providers like Stripe and everything, but overall it is the big dog when it comes to digital processing of payments. But now the company is starting to struggle a bit in innovating and finding other avenues of growth. Who might have heard of Pinterest, the rumor that they were buying them, but overall the company is not growing as much as it should be. So this was quarter 2 now. Look at how they add 6.23 billion revenue and the EPS was 101. So it actually went down from the second quarter to the third quarter of this year. So that had led a lot of people to think that PayPal, it's not necessarily going to grow as much as it once was. A lot of investors had the idea to just sell and get out of it while they still can. So we have a lot of analysts on Wall Street that really like this stock. They expect the 18.6 growth for next year. It's just that unless they can really capitalize on Venmo and crypto and all those new things that they're going to be working on for the company's core main business of the company, it's actually starting to decelerate. So PayPal at 300 was just not interesting to me just because it was just so high. But now at these levels, it has me really looking at PayPal saying how much can they grow in the next couple months, in the next couple of years, and if I should buy currently or should I wait it out for another dip. So the fact that the stock is reaching that support level that we had last year, it is oversold on the RSI. That's a good indicator. We have a lot of negative volume here. People dumping their shares. Well, now they're getting flushed out of the market. Yet a lot of these hedge funds that have bought the stock between 200 and some cases 300. So there's two things that are happening here. Either they dump their shares, right? You see a lot of heavy volume here, or now you agree to establish a new base for long-term investors. Well, what are these long-term investors going to do? If they bought their stock at 252 and now stock is at 180, well, they're actually going to be dollar cost averaging down. I mean, we already see this happening. If you go to the 5-day, we see that the stock is actually stabilizing now, meaning it's not crashing like the rest of the market did because it already crashed over the past month. So you already have an example of this. Kramer's one of the guys on CNBC, one of the guys that represents the CNBC crowd, the hedge funds, you know, those guys on Wall Street. And he's been pumping PayPal since it was above 200. And now recently said that they're going to be buying a little bit more at 191. And now recently said that they're going to be buying a little bit more at 191, $2 cost averaging down. So this, you know, he's only buying 25 shares, but he says that PayPal is 3.13% of their portfolio. Just goes to show you that Wall Street loves this stock. And when the stock actually likes to start getting a little bit more momentum, they're going to be buying into it once again. Personally, I'm not expecting it to go back to 300 anytime soon. It would take like another stay-at-home type of event to start this company's growth accelerated, just like how it happened last year. Another great catalyst would be a big push for Venmo. Something like that would make it happen, maybe an acquisition. But in the short term, I'm more looking at it between 225 to 250. I think there's profits to be made in the range, you know, either with options or with buying shares outright. And then in the meantime, until I see a full confirmation of a good support level, then I'll probably start selling some short-term options just to generate some cash flow. We also have Venmo being accepted by Amazon at the start of 2022, and that can be a huge analyst if Amazon releases Venmo as a big revenue earner for Amazon. Anyways guys, let me know what you guys think of PayPal in the comments below. Is this a buy? Is this a sell? What are your guys' opinion? Subscribe for more stocks and crypto videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video.